Police searching for man accused of killing Linden woman. Motorcyclist beaten while apologizing to cops he assaulted. And woman gets 10 years for smuggling gun in an intimate body part. I am Enrico Bulford, and this is Uncut News. Police are currently searching for 19-year-old Shaquan Allen, the boyfriend of missing Linden resident Shawnette Dover, whose body was found in a shallow grave on Friday. According to the cops, Dover's 15-year-old sister led investigators to the shallow grave in Allen's backyard. According to her, Allen and his father buried Dover in the backyard after Allen negligently discharged his firearm while he was cleaning it on April 3rd. Dover was fatally struck by the discharged round. The police said that the father and the 15-year-old girl remain in police custody while the search continues for the boyfriend. This morning, nursing assistant and pyramid scheme operator Kezia Jewel Roberts was slapped with an additional 15 counts of obtaining money by false pretense. Based on reports received, Roberts had registered a business under the name Capital Care Investment with the Registrar of Companies and posted a business flyer on her Facebook page enticing persons to invest in her pyramid scheme, pretending to be an investment firm. Earlier this month, she faced similar charges for the scheme. Today, Roberts pleaded not guilty to all 15 charges and was released on $300,000 bail. A police constable attached to the Bartica police station is now under arrest after he hospitalized a civilian who was publicly apologizing to him for assaulting him the day prior. Georgiano Tavriden was charged for assaulting two police officers on April 24th of this year, and he was ordered by the courts to publicly apologize to the ranks. Well, he turned up at the Bartica police station to do just that. But instead of accepting his apology, Police Constable Harmon decided to beat the stuffing out of him. He was treated at the hospital and later discharged, while the constable was immediately taken into custody. The police force is currently searching for former GDF rank Delon Wilson. Wilson is wanted for questioning in relation to larceny by public officer. Last year, he was also wanted for home invasion, so I guess he's a multifaceted thief. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's car of the day. Currently on sale, this is 2010 Toyota Hi8 Super GL. It comes with push-button start, all seats, sliding glasses, dual AC, mag rims, new tires, CD, stereo, reverse camera, and much more. Buy cash for $3.6 million, or pay down as low as $1,440,000 down with around $76,000 monthly for 3 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Rowe Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them the Rico sent you for this sweet deal. According to Kaicho News this week, Jagdeo himself confirmed that there is no internationally recognized gas expert on the panel of experts who are supposed to be planning the $900 million gas-to-shore project location. Jagdeo said, "For such a project, we don't need outside assistance in the planning stage, as we have enough people who are competent enough here to plan it." Although APNU had supposedly done 5 studies on the project, Jagdeo said the coalition had made no critical decisions on those documents, so they chose one instead. But this location wasn't chosen in complete isolation. According to the team, the site in Wales was just one of 20 sites around the nation that Exxon investigated for suitability. If you've ever stopped at the traffic light at the Avenue of Republic near the Burpees bus park, you've probably been approached by an old crying beggar man. But yesterday, 88-year-old Sandy Adonis, also known as Lil Man, was killed after he was pushed into the path of a moving truck. According to eyewitnesses, Sandy approached the front passenger side of a red vehicle to solicit money. But when the light turned green, the passenger allegedly pushed him into the path of an oncoming container truck. As a result, the elderly man was run over and pronounced dead at the scene. The truck driver remains in custody while the suspect is still on the run, but I doubt they'll catch him. Is there really ever justice in this nation for a poor beggar man or even a poor Linden girl? Anyway, a serial burglar is now awaiting sentencing after he admitted to stealing over $5 million worth of items from several city business establishments. 45-year-old Devin Rodney on Wednesday confessed to 5 simple larceny charges. He told the magistrate that he stole a quantity of jewelry, clothes, cash, and other items from Vidia's enterprise and IPET, Supreme Branch, and Britton, Hamilton, and Adams' law firm. It is alleged that he broke into the establishment between March 18th and April 14th and stole the quantity of articles amounting to almost $5 million. The prosecutor did not object to bail. However, the court was told that Rodney was caught on camera removing the items and that some of the articles listed were recovered. The matter will be called again on May 10th. Do you want to grow your money? Sell digital top-up. Become a top-up vendor through Cellular Plus and make some extra cash to supplement your income at your business or existing side hustle. Call 685-3109 for more info. It's now time for today's Rune Report. Today, the nation recorded 177 new cases. There are now 296 persons dead, with 15 persons in the ICU, 1,679 persons in home isolation, and the total number of known cases in the nation now stands at 13,283. So please, people, wash your hands frequently, avoid touching your nose and mouth, and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds, and remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. Now, let's take a look at news in the region. In Trinidad, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has announced the government's decision to roll back its previous one to end the vaccination program and instead will continue on using the remainder of the vaccines that were originally meant to be the second doses for those who received their first ones. Speaking during a news press conference in Scarborough, Tobago yesterday, the Prime Minister said the government expects the second tranche of AstraZeneca vaccines being supplied through the COVAX facility to arrive in that country next month, May. But he said the Italian embargo on the export of vaccines might affect the shipments, prompting the government to reverse a recently announced decision. Robbery season might be over, but the streets are still mean. If I were you, I would consider getting security for the home or business. I personally recommend Church Security Service. I find that they are the most professional with well-trained armed or unarmed guards. Get some security, people. Venezuela's Attorney General said yesterday that 10 officials from the state-owned oil company Petróleos de Venezuela, or PDVSA, were arrested for illegally diverting and selling some 3 million liters of fuel as long lines continue at petrol stations throughout the OPEC country due to shortages of gasoline and diesel. Maduro blamed the shortages on U.S. sanctions, which are aimed at ousting him. Last year, Washington eliminated an exemption to sanctions that allowed Venezuela to export crude oil and receive diesel in return. Critics argue that problems at Venezuela's refineries are the main cause of fuel shortages. Saab said the group, which included high-ranking personnel, were detained at a fuel-filling plant in the northwestern Zulia state for diverting 1.9 million liters of gasoline and another million liters of diesel. And now for our weird news story of the day. An inmate in Missouri will spend the next 10 years behind bars for using an intimate body part as a holster for a loaded handgun. Amy Wilhite pleaded guilty to smuggling a .22 caliber pistol into Boone County Jail inside her lady parts. Jail guards only learned about the gun after finding it 17 days later when it turned up wrapped in plastic along with the woman's other possessions. The report noted it's believed Wilhite smuggled the 10cm gun past guards in a body cavity. Wilhite claimed she was holding the gun for someone else. The 39-year-old inmate was arrested February 14th on drug and weapons charges. She pleaded guilty to those charges too and was ordered to serve 5 years. Attention truck drivers! Hammer is one of the leading international brands for heavy-duty truck parts. Get high-quality brake pads, air valves, bearings, and clutches for DAF, International Freightliners, Bedford TM, Scammell, and lots more truck parts seen here. This nice lady is not included. Get it at Powered Automotive Truck Spares and Engine Parts at 1161 EE Eccles. Call or WhatsApp 697-0171 or follow Powered Automotive Truck Spares and Engine Parts on Facebook. Moving on to our Uncut News Fuse Poll question of the day. Every day we post a question about current events in the nation, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So, you give your responses in the comments and we'll read the best ones in the following episode. Yesterday's question was about the Cybercrime Act, and how you felt about it. Should it be repealed? Should it be amended? What? Courtney Cummings said, that law needs to be reviewed. People need to express themselves. The only difference is making accusations you can't back up, then it's scandalous. Julian Humphrey said, question, where is our freedom of speech gone to? We are not a democratic nation. I think that this is too unfair. Michelle Alfonso said, I don't think that one should be charged for making fun or throwing any type of shade. If it's wrong to throw shade at any politician, then all politicians should not throw any shade at any party or political members. Politicians must be thick-skinned, not touchy nor vexing up. So for tonight's question, the Ministry of Labour says they still want to raise the private sector minimum wage to $60,000. But the private sector says they can't afford it, while the poor people already suffering the economic effects of the runner said they can't afford to not get the raise. Do you think the government should still raise the minimum wage this year, or no? Think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Check us out on Monday for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulford saying, have a great weekend. And as always, don't drink and drive, or you'll end up on Monday's episode the hard way. Ha ha! Good night, folks. Hey, Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.